believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. I do.
Welcome back to the Bantering Boneheads, where on today's show, the veil between the known and the unknown is at its thinnest.
Is it?
It's going to be, okay? So if you're ready to get your spooky on, dim the lights, sit back and enjoy our showish about the paranormal.
I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
I thought about a spooky laugh there.
I guess we'll roll the intro over the middle of this right here, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So the paranormal, Matthew, your thoughts?
Doesn't exist.
You don't think it exists?
Not at all.
Not at all. Well, welcome to Matthew's Opinion. No.
Isn't that what all these shows are?
Yeah,
I thought
our
that was the whole
opinions.
premise of this. I just get up here and spout what I believe and then tell the both of you that you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What about you, David? You think there's something going on there with the paranormal?
I don't believe in them. Let me back up. I don't believe when somebody dies that they come back and haunt or take over a home or something. I do believe in angels. I do believe in demons.
So you do believe in the paranormal?
As like what I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't believe in ghosts, but you
I
believe
don't
in the
believe
paranormal.
Okay, yeah, that works.
I don't believe in the paranormal,
Period.
basically.
Basically.
Something tells me that in the future he's going to get a honing.
Maybe. I hope it comes with a paycheck.
Okay.
No. So there's a theory in quantum physics where at every impasse you reach with a decision, another timeline branches off, and sometimes they can coexist. And I can't explain it because quantum physics makes your head hurt like it's supposed to.
Is this like parallel universe type stuff?
Kinda, yeah. I don't have the knowledge level to be able to explain it in any kind of understandable terms, nor do I think the people that actually study this all the time can either. I don't necessarily believe in it, but I think it's an interesting concept.
For me, man, I mean, we've actually got a picture we're going to bring up. So whenever you want to pull that up, go ahead. But I'm going to tell you the story behind this, okay? So my middle daughter, Brittany, when she was a teenager, she went to spend the night with one of her friends. And I can't remember the girl's name. But anyway, it was back when Razor phones had just came out. Mm-hmm. And they were playing around with the camera, just taking a bunch of pictures. Snap, 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 snap. And then they went back and just started looking at the pictures and deleting them. And they ran across this one. So if you really zoom in and look in the doorway, you see some type of figure. Now, David, a while ago, was looking at it and said it looks like a woman to him. To me, it did at first, but when I put it on a computer and started zooming in, it looked more like an old man with overalls. So that little piece of dark hair, what looks like dark hair, I think is like an overall strap, you know?
Let me zoom in on this one again.
Yeah, and, so that's the story behind that picture.
I could see both sides of that.
Yeah, you can see it both ways, man, because you see like the overalls and like a red shirt with, mid-lengths, not really short sleeves, but not long either.
Well, Heather says that she has a picture, you guys have a picture of Helen, like sitting at the foot of the bed for Leonard. I've never seen it, but she's talked about this since we've met, that there's a picture of all y'all like around his hospital bed, and she's sitting on the edge of the bed.
I don't know about that one.
I haven't heard this.
Yeah, she believes in this stuff full stop.
Yeah. I mean, what it is, I don't know, but there's something there. I used to this stuff's always intrigued me. And by the way, that picture right there, I know you're going to want to see that better. So as soon as this show actually airs, I'm going to slap that picture on our Facebook page, and you can download it off of there and put it on your computer and look at it. Yeah, as long as you want, play around with it. I actually sent that picture into a paranormal show, and they used it in their show.
Did you get a paycheck?
No.
Lame.
Yeah, lame.
Right.
Yeah, it was equivalent to the paycheck I get for this one.
Oh, they pay. I get a paycheck from here.
Do you?
Yeah, David pays me to shut up.
Well, my thoughts are, man, there's stories in the Bible about ghosts. There's people's talked about it forever.
I'm glad you brought up the Bible.
Okay.
How do you square this with your faith? Because there's so that you believe base level again. We're not trying to make this religious, but you believe in a heaven and a hell, theoretically speaking.
Yeah.
Do you just get a choice when you die of like, hey, dude, do you want to be a ghost and screw with people for a couple of years? Is it a permanent decision? Like, can I be a ghost for a little bit and then be like, all right, I'm done?
So I'm getting ready to slap one on you that I think I have absolutely zero proof of this. Okay, none whatsoever. This
Like
is
anything
all,
else you've ever said?
Yeah, this is all in my head.
All right.
But personally, I don't think time is linear. Okay.
It's funny you say that. It's so funny you say that.
Well,
I'll let you continue, and then
okay.
I'll come back to it.
Say, for conversation's sake, it's not, and it's doing whatever it's doing. What's the possibility of in that split second right there that two timelines cross for a brief moment?
Kind of like the quantum physics things I was talking about.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Is that how you would explain deja vu?
I don't explain it. I don't understand it.
That is one of the theories, is that you're remembering something you've experienced in a previous life. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up nonlinear time, because Heather leans towards believing in like a style of reincarnation. She can't really articulate where or how, but that's the concept she likes. And I could get behind it. But to me, if there is reincarnation, time isn't linear. You can be reincarnated anywhere. You're not necessarily, like if you die in 2025, you don't necessarily start over in 2025.
Yeah.
You can go back to
Whatever.
14 whatever.
Yeah. I really don't think it's linear, and we could do a whole freaking show about that, so I'm not going to get too in depth on it. But another possibility is, what if I'm sure, well, we all know there's more dimensions than we can see.
Allegedly.
Well,
yes.
I mean, yeah, allegedly. I mean, you can't really prove that, but what if for some reason, you're getting a glimpse of that for a quick second? Another dimension or whatever.
It's possible. I mean, it's also possible that, not with this picture specifically, because I don't know the hijinks behind it, but it's also possible that it's just BS. Because it was a really big thing when cameras first came out, staging ghost pictures.
Yeah.
And it was basically just double exposure, or even triple exposure at times, to put the ghost figure behind you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, there was always that, but I know where that picture came from, and I've been sitting on that thing for 20 years, I guess.
I mean, it still could have been technological smudge on the camera that just happens. So, I mean, it's really no different than somebody that pops up and it's like, I've got Jesus' face on a piece of toast. It's just a luck of the draw kind of thing, right? Like,
let's take a look at it again.
Okay.
Analyze it.
Okay. What are you seeing there?
I mean,
I see Photoshop.
This is 20 years ago.
I mean, Photoshop was a thing back then, but it was not exactly readily accessible either,
Yeah, this thing was low-resolution image 20-plus years ago.
I think it's more likely in this exact situation that it's just like dirt and shadows on the door, and our brains, because your brain naturally looks for patterns and things that you can recognize.
While you see horses in the clouds.
Exactly. Yeah. I think we're trying to put something there that is not as a result of that.
And we're all putting the same thing there.
Well, no.
See, I still don't see the farmer in suspenders and all that you were talking about. I see a woman in a robe. I don't know.
Crap. I mean, I don't see farmer in suspenders necessarily, but I can see how the shadows could be, instead of construing it as that's the woman's hair, it's like the collar of an open button-down shirt, and then the sleeves stop about right here, or just above the elbow, basically. I could see that, but again, I still think that it's just shadows and dirt, and your brain's trying to find something that isn't there.
I don't know, but I'm gonna pop it on Facebook and let everybody download it that wants it.
Maybe when I die, that ghost will just pop up and smack the crap out of me and be like, "I was real."
No, what's going to happen is when I die, if it's possible, I'm haunting you.
Man, I hope so. We're gonna have a good time.
David, you want to help me?
No.
You're not going to help haunt him?
Okay, think it from my point of view. I've got to deal with this guy all the time. I've had enough.
Okay.
When I die, I want to go to heaven and actually live in peace.
Rest in peace.
Never going to happen. I'm gonna die.
Hey, I love you, man.
David's gonna be at the throne, being like, "You can't let this dude in. He'll ruin the whole vibe. You just can't do it."
But man, even before cameras and stuff like that, it's just always people talked about it.
Well, it's really no different than aliens, right? Though it's just seeing something that you can't explain and then trying to explain it.
Yeah. So for me, I think something's going on. What exactly it is, I couldn't tell you.
So we can't say one way or the other if any of that is. Do you think ghost hunters are real, or do you think it's a bunch of crap?
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. Just a quick reminder, if you like this kind of content, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Help us grow. Appreciate it. Now back to the show.
I really think most of it's a bunch of crap, but I haven't really watched a lot of it.
And you don't have to. You watch 5 minutes of it, you've seen basically everything you need to see with them, with their like spirit detector 6000 that makes freaking noises or whatever.
And I have seen some videos of stuff that is questionable. Like, what the heck was that? But then again, you don't. This picture, I know where it came from. I know it wasn't doctored.
I'll have to ask Heather if she can find that picture that she's told me about, or figure out who has it, because I think I've seen it once. But I don't know who actually holds the copy of it.
I would like to see that.
But the other thing, was that picture ever developed, or was that solely off the camera?
No, it was straight off the phone to me, and it's always been digital. It's
because that's another explanation for a lot of older pictures, was just like a double exposure on even the old school disposable cameras. You'd get a double exposure.
Yeah. It was never that. As far as the one I got, was never printed or anything like that. I don't know what anybody else has ever done with it, because there's been a lot of people seen it now, but still an interesting photo, man.
So if you don't, to come off of ghosts, because you brought it up, angels and demons, do you get a choice to be one of those when you die, or is it angels are angels and people are people and that's that?
Angels are angels, demons and demons are demons, and people are people.
And then there's me.
And then there's
boneheads are boneheads.
I wasn't going to say that.
but yeah, I really don't know, man. I've heard, like I said, I've always been really interested in paranormal, found it intriguing. I've listened to a lot of podcasts, read a lot of, articles on it and stuff like that. But what gets me is some of these that they're like, in the spirit world, blah, 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 blah. And like, how do they even freaking know?
They don't.
The ones that gets me is we've got to, what is it? They got to help them go into the light.
Yeah,
you heard that?
They're like in a purgatory, basically.
Yeah, so like here you are in our situation, and they've moved on to the next situation. So, you would think they would know a little more than you.
Here's the question. You believe, I don't believe in any capacity, you're complicated. If I bring a Ouija board in here, are we going to mess with it?
No.
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 Why not?
No. Hey, why take the chance?
Why not? Live a little. Think about like, if we open up a dimension to hell and we get it on camera, we're not going to be here for it, but we'll be famous.
Y'all can't see all this, but there's lights everywhere, different colored lights,
collapses
everything flashing, and we'd be like, ooh.
We do it as a live stream, so when we all disappear into another dimension, they can see it.
Yeah. We do have that green screen thing going on. We could make a ghost kind of disappear behind us.
Dress you up in your green screen outfit again, just disappear below the table.
Oh, so I guess everybody's figured out by now none of us really know what we're talking about in this.
I am a highly educated individual in absolutely nothing, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so this was a perfect show for us. Anybody got any more content they want to add?
David, you were telling a story just now off the air that we decided we needed to bring back. You want to revisit that?
Well, yeah. It was the strangest thing. And Mom died January of 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Right before the gigantic snowstorm.
Yes.
When we put her in the ground.
We had to wait a while.
Like a month, is from what Heather tells me. Like
it was only a couple days.
Yeah.
It seems, I remember that storm. We were out of power like 3 days. I think the world was shut down for at least a week.
It was probably a foot and a half of snow.
We had the funeral, and then the snow moved in during that time. I said, well, we'll wait 2 days, and then we'll go ahead and finish.
Because Heather talks about having a snowball fight like graveside.
Yeah. I remember Lisa, my sister, Tony's wife. I remember Lisa picking up the snowball, throwing it at Dad, saying that's for Mom. And Mom loves snow.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was dating this girl, and For some reason, I was at work, and this crazy feeling just kept eating me up. It was overwhelming. Normally, it's not a big deal. I just keep on going. Your mind runs wild and all this.
Right.
But for some reason, it was eating me up so bad that something wasn't right. And I called her to check on her, say, hey, look, I just got this strange feeling, and, are you okay? She says, yeah, I'm fine. And it was either that evening or the very next day, Tony called and said my mom had passed away.
I had something very similar when my grandfather died. Heather and I were at the beach, and I usually wake up before her because she likes to sleep in, and I get up for work every day, so I'm just built that way. So I'm up, and it's a gorgeous day. It's beautiful. Sunrise is amazing. I'm on the balcony staring at the beach, and I'm like, something don't feel right. Couldn't pinpoint it. It wasn't like an ominous, the world is ending feeling. It was just like something's off. Mm-hmm. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. My mom was calling me to tell me he died.
So you've experienced the same thing.
I've experienced weird situations like that too. But the guy I work with, my engineer Jacob, he is telling me, and he gave me permission to talk about this. So he's telling me his younger brother, for whatever reason, was spending the night with his grandmother one night, and I think it was just them two in the house, and they were asleep, or he was asleep, and he just got woke up, just like startled awake. And he said it was freaking freezing in there. And, you tend to hear that a lot with ghost stories, temperature changes and stuff like that. And he went in there to check on his grandmother, and she had passed.
I don't necessarily think it's paranormal. I think that there's some validity to situations like this, but I think it's like your lizard brain, right? Like it's your instincts of saying like something has shifted, something's not right. Because like death has a smell. It takes a little bit longer for you to usually notice it, but you're subconsciously, like your brain can still recognize it.
Well, if you think about it,
and I don't even mean like decay. I just mean death has a smell.
Like you think about it, like there's nothing. Everything's energy, right? We're energy. There's energy all around us, and in some way, we're all connected. Maybe that disturbance in the force, if you will, is what you pick up on. You know what I'm saying?
We mentioned before we did this cut, we mentioned reincarnation with Heather and stuff, and that was one of our conversations about it. Is like, so in the known universe, energy is never created or destroyed; it simply changes form, right? So that was her theory to a point with ghosts. Was like you transform into that, whereas that was my point for reincarnation, is that you just start over again. Because your soul is that energy that's got to shift from one vessel to another.
Okay, I want to back up something you just said. Mm-hmm. Explain lizard brain.
The lizard people, if you watch the Y-Files.
Yes. Lizard. I can't say.
Hey, shout out to AJ from the Y-Files.
Yeah.
That is
and the hecklefish.
I love hecklefish.
Hecklefish.
We need a hecklefish. No, your lizard brain is what you got pre-evolution. It's what tells you you're in danger, right? It's what makes you react before you think if something bad's about to happen. Like if a car comes barreling towards you and you jump out of the way and you're like, man, I don't even know how I did that. That's your lizard brain. It's not the actual term for it, but it's just more fun to say it that way. That's where your base level instincts are to make you do things without thinking, so you survive.
Once again, feeling that disturbance in the force.
Right, pretty much. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's that level of your instinctual need to survive that picks up. Because you think about it, like 1,000 years ago, a dead body could wipe out an entire population of humans because of disease and everything else. Like you had to know, like, okay, that's dead. It's got to get gone. We have to move it, or we have to move. So I think some of that carried forward for people to be able to realize like something's not. Now I can't articulate why I could be 500 miles away and have that same feeling. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
But for your engineer's story, I think that's a good explanation for it.
Yeah, possible. Okay.
Okay, we're going to wrap this up now.
Are we actually quitting for real this time?
Okay.
Maybe we'll be back. Maybe we won't.
Once again, wherever you go,
whatever you do,
stay bona fide.